Welcome, friends of the toast, especially welcome to the enemies of the toast. And look at that. We cut our finger off the other day. But, crazy glue can fix that. If you're crazy enough, you can fix anything. So here we go. Very nice. Don't mind the band aid. All right. So we have esper affinity here. And this is unique to the toast here. Let's go through our creature base. So esper affinity, it's a very interesting deck. I'd say it leans more heavily into control. But you know what? I don't like this any less or more than Grixis affinity. I think I like these equal. So we have, unlike Grixis affinity, of course, we have the Glint Hawk. And when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you return an artifact you control to its owner's hand. Very advantageous to us there. We have the Refurbished Familiar. Wonderful utility creature. That affinity for artifacts makes it 1 black all the time. Flying, that's good evasion. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, you draw a card. So pretty much ripping our opponent's hands apart very quickly. Of course, we have 4 of those. Now, Utram Monitor. Man, I have 2 play sets of Utram Monitor. And I think I'm going to give 2 of them to a buddy of mine. And because I'm just using 3 in both now. I'm using 3 in here. And I'm using 3 Utram monitors in the Grixis. Not quite as brave as Luffy du Chapeau, who uses 2, but we like 3. And 4 just seemed like redundant. Like, we didn't need that many. I just think there was a better place to fill a sideboard slot. So 3 Utram monitors, but it is a great card. It's an artifact in and of itself, so that's great. It's a flyer, great evasion, 3/3, 1 blue, not bad. We have 3 of those, as stated. Myr Enforcer always plays the role in the affinity, and no less than 4, because this guy's the closer. He's the deal closer. Am I right? Am I right? He closes the deals. He is the deal closer. So how many games have been closed out with dropping down a few Myr Enforcers? Now, we have Jolted Awake. Choose up to 1 target artifact or creature card in your graveyard. You get 2 energy counters, and you may pay an amount of energy equal to that card's mana value if you do return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. It's got cycling as well. Pretty much you're going to be wanting returning things, sacrificed artifacts and whatnot. So this will go hand in hand with our, like these Reckoner's Bargain, Eviscerator Insight type cards in any deck where you're running white. So 2 of those. Now Thoughtcast. Oh, such a great card. So this is basically affinity for artifacts, and we draw 2 cards. So get your pencils out, because there's 4 in here. And why wouldn't there be? I played against somebody that was running 3. I was like, do you need one? And they're like, no, I have one on the sideboard. And I was like, I see. But there was wisdom behind it. You never know. You never know. So Ephemerate. Exile target creature you control and return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So this is a good one to have in here with the Refurbished Familiar, obviously, because let's say we play Refurbished Familiar, play this out, play Ephemerate on it. I mean, it'll have Summoning Sickness anyways, and utilizing it that way. Or if you'd have attacked with it and it's tapped, bring it back, Ephemerate, exile target creature. The rebound is great because it just rips up your opponent's hand. 2 Ephemerates though, just 2, because we have Steel Sabotage, so we can have some fun with this too. Sometimes it finds its way into the sideboard, but counter target artifact spell or return target artifact to its owner's hand. So we can do that to them, or we can do it to us. Whoa, hey, whoa! All right, boom, boom. Now we have the Reckoner's Bargain. Now this is funny because in my Grixis affinity, I have 1 Fanatical Offering and 3 Reckoner's Bargaining. And in this, I have 1 Reckoner's Bargain and 3 Fanatical Offerings, just because I find this to be a little bit more advantageous that way. So additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice the arty or the creature. You gain life equal to the sacrifice permanent's mana value and draw 2 cards. Get those pencils out, kids. 1 of those. This is pretty much the same, except you get the map token. 3 of those, and you could probably run 4. I see some variations of decks like this that have 4 of those and like 1 Eviscerator's Insight. And we have the Nile Spellbomb. There's many things. All the Niles you could have chose. The Nile River, the Nile. You chose the Nile Spellbound. Shame on you. Shame on you, lizards. All right, I'm just kidding. It's a great card. If you're running black, it's better than Relic. So, Nile Spellbound, tap, you know what it does. Exile all the cards from target player's graveyard. When it is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay a black if you do draw a card. So we can bring that back and sack it again. That's good. We can do all types of fun things. We have Blood Fountain. When it enters the battlefield, creates a blood token. So it's basically a 2-for-1 there. You can sacrifice this and return up to 2 target creature cards from the graveyard to the hand. That's really good. Never overlook that in any affinity deck that runs that. We have the Surveillance Cam. Now, this was a hard one. We were like, do we want to run? We almost wanted 3. We're like, 3, but then we're like, So I think we ran just a 2, and I'll show you why we ran a 2. So yes, we ran 2 of those, and it's good, but it's not like we're returning things all the time. And we can flash this out. It's good, but it's not 3 good. Now, I'll tell you what is good in here. Great Sword of Tyr. This thing floating around is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So whenever a equipped creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it and tap up to 1 target creature defending player controls. Love this card. I don't know. I just love it. It's an artifact, so it checks that box. And the equip cost is really cool. You can float it and beef things up. And that tapping of creatures is very good as well. We have the Black Mage's Rod here, and we are running 2 of those. I had to look. We ran 3. We tried some iterations with 3, but again, it just became too much. You either need to, I think, be totally committed to these, where you're running almost like 4, and kind of build around it a little bit. Or, just like with Surveillance, if you're not comboing the Surveillance Cam somehow, if you're just kind of bouncing it like a utility artifact, I don't think that it merits running 3 of. And I don't think this merits running 3 of in this deck, because this is just additional damage, kind of like in Grixis Affinity. And this really mirrors our Grixis Affinity, which we're going to show pretty soon here, because we have our mana base completely done with the most beautiful mana base you've ever seen in Pauper. Well, probably not the most beautiful, but you get the idea. It's unique. I bet you've never seen one like this in Pauper. So we will be showcasing that later on. We have Cryogen Relic. Now, this is really great. So when this artifact enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Sacrifice this artifact, put a stun counter on up to 1 target tapped creature. Cannot do better than that. It is better than the Ichor Wellspring when you're running blue in a lot of instances. If you need the card draw, it's good, especially if you're these variations. I think Cryogen Relic plays a bigger role. So onward and forward, and let's look at the cool mana base here. You guys are really gonna love this mana base, and I hope I have the yeah, I do. I have the sideboard all squidity badidi. All right, so let's talk about artifact lands. We have 3 Seat of Synods, right? 3? No, 2. I thought we had 3. All right, well, oh, we do. Jeez, I knew it. Look at that. Look at these beauties. Let that be a prequel to what you're gonna see when I show you my Grixis Affinity, baby. So there's a couple of those Seat of the Synods there. So 3 Seat of Synods. We have a Vault of Whispers. 1, 2, 3 Vault of Whispers. See what this is doing? But look, it's a little different because it has the Aqueduct. So just a 1 of the Aqueduct. Dimir Aqueduct enters the battlefield tapped. When the Aqueduct enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. So that is a nice little jump above. We have the Mist Vault Bridge. It enters the battlefield tapped. It's indestructible. We can add a blue or a black. 1, 2, 2 Mist Vault Bridges. And right here is one of the most beautiful artifact lands, in my opinion. And actually, one of the inspirations for building this deck is a Razortide Bridge, which is so dang beautiful, in my opinion. I just love it. Probably my favorite. Something about that is just so epically, liminally beautiful to me. Probably my favorite art on any type of dual producing mana land I've ever seen. And close second, honestly, I love the artwork on this Goldmeyer bridge as well. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those. So we're getting all of our bits and bobs. And we have Ancient Den. We're running 2 of these. We have the time shifted, which love that. Actually, yeah, I was going to say Rob Alexander. The artwork is recognizable here. And Mohammed Ferdaw did that, but Halcyon, floating capital of the Thran, the once shining city in the clouds, now lies ruined in the desert floor. So, very cool. I love this mana base. And it pretty much like is not too heavy in any one particular place. Though there's like less than 10% difference in symbols on land or symbols on like spells. The mana production's like pretty equal across the board. Like very close. Like there's not much movement. So we have duress. We're running 2 duresses. 2 duresses. Do you like my duress? I wear duress like a badge of honor. So target opponent reveals the hand. You choose the non-creature, non-land card from it. Yada, yada, yada. We have Arms of Hadar to get rid of those pesky little skanoodlers. So creatures target player controls get -2 until end of turn. Excellent to ruin somebody's day. So we have Hydroblast. Counter target spell if it is red, or destroy target permanent if it is red. 1, 2, 3, and these are blue elemental blasts, but it's pretty much the same thing. So you get the idea. And I actually like this artwork better than this artwork. Well, I don't know. She's quite beautiful. I like that artwork too. They're both beautiful. These look like a pastel, maybe chalk. Other one looks like marker or ink. But both great pieces of art. We have Toxin Analysis. This is a classic in Affinity. Target creature gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. Investigate. So we get that wonderful clue token there. That's our Affinity. That's the business, friends. That's the business. Don't you touch, or you'll leave the prince and you'll get the busted. All right, we have Cast Down, probably the best removal in black, and one of the best removals in Pauper, really. We have Thraben Charm, pretty good removal, pretty good little Swiss Army spell here. We have 2 of those. We have Tithing Blade in a 1 of. So drop that in there, and it gives a little homage to Glint Blade, of which we have a pretty mean Glint deck as well. So I can't wait to have somebody pilot Glint and then send this against it. So Tithing Blade's pretty simple. Don't neglect the craft with creature. That's pretty good. Enters the battlefield. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. We have Mukutai Ambush. So Ninjutsu and Lifelink. And oh, there's our hero.